Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I always knew our old Victorian house had a certain stillness to it. Not quiet exactly, but a deep, unyielding stillness that seemed to absorb sound and light. My name is Hayden Green, and I've lived in this house since I was a kid along with my younger sister, Ava. She's 16 now, vibrant and full of life, a stark contrast to the house's muted hum. For years, I just thought it was an old building settling, or maybe my own imagination. The first time I saw it, it was around Mittens, our ancient ginger cat. She was curled up on the sun-drenched windowsill, purring when I noticed it, a shimmering haze just above her head, like heat rising off asphalt, but colder. It wavered, distorting the air, making Mittens' silhouette ripple at the edges. I blinked, rubbed my eyes. It was gone. A trick of the light, I told myself. A week later, Mittens vanished. No open doors, no signs of escape. She didn't die, she just wasn't there anymore. My parents put up flyers, but deep down, I knew it was useless. She'd simply ceased to be. Then, the Blurr, as I began to call it, reappeared. It was around old Mr. Care, our neighbor, during one of his afternoon walks. A faint, almost imperceptible distortion around his shoulders, making his tweed jacket seem to ripple oddly. A few days later, Mr. Care's family announced he'd had a sudden, severe onset of dementia. He was moved to a facility upstate. Effectively, he disappeared from our lives. From his own, too, I suppose. The Blurr wasn't a harbinger of death, I realized. It was something else, something about erasure. The sightings grew more frequent. Around the barista at my favorite coffee shop, who quit unexpectedly, leaving no forwarding address. Around a minor character in a TV show I was watching who was written out abruptly. Each time they didn't die. They just vanished or were irrevocably changed, their former selves dissolving. The Blurr felt cold, a draining sensation in my gut whenever I saw it. I tried to explain it to my friend, Zachary Dunn. He just laughed it off, said I needed more sleep, too much screen time. Ava, usually so perceptive, just patted my arm and said I was overthinking things. They couldn't see it. No one could. My grandmother, Dora Ellison, started showing the Blurr. She was living with us then, and it clung to her like a shroud. At first, it was wispy, almost transparent. Then it thickened, making her outlines waver. She began to forget things, small details at first, then entire conversations. Her once sharp wit dulled. She'd stare blankly at me, then ask, "Who are you again, dear?" I'd hold her hand, trying to ground her, but the Blurr would pulse, almost mockingly. It wasn't a natural decline. It felt like something was actively unmaking her, piece by piece. The true terror struck when I saw it around Ava. Just a wisp at first, barely there, during her school play rehearsal. My heart seized. I forced a smile, tried to act normal. I took a photo of her on my phone, trying to capture the moment, and later, zooming in, there it was, a faint, sickly white haze distorting the edge of her bright smile. It was real. I wasn't going crazy. I went into overdrive. I tried to shield her. I convinced her to stay with Zachary's family for a few days, under the guise of wanting a girls' weekend with her. Anything to get her out of the house, out of my sight, away from whatever invisible thread the Blurr was pulling. But it followed. When I visited her, the Blurr was still there, a little stronger now, a constant, flickering halo around her head. Ava started getting sick. Not a normal cold, but a vague malaise. Extreme fatigue, dizzy spells, moments where she'd seem to lose her train of thought mid-sentence. Doctors were baffled. They ran tests, found nothing. "Stress," Dr. Shaw suggested, but I saw the Blurr poolsing around her, growing denser with each passing day. It felt like an invisible hand was squeezing her, compressing her essence. One night I woke to a profound cold in our house, a cold that seeped into my bones. I crept to Ava's room. She was sitting up in bed, eyes wide open, staring blankly at the far wall. The Blurr was thick around her, obscuring her features, making her seem almost translucent. Her chest rose and fell in shallow, irregular breaths. She looked like a ghost, an echo of herself. "Ava," I screamed, rushing forward, grabbing her shoulders. I shook her gently at first, then harder. "Ava, snap out of it." Her eyes slowly focused on me, a flicker of confusion. "Hayden, what's wrong? Why are you shaking me?" She shivered, pulling her blanket tighter. The Blurr receded, thinned, but didn't disappear. It was still there, just waiting. I held her, rocking her, tears streaming down my face. I realized then that the Blurr wasn't just a sign. It was an active, malevolent force slowly, systematically trying to erase my sister. It was trying to take her. Ava is better now, mostly. The strange illness has lessened, but the blur still flickers around her, a constant torment to my vision. Some days it's barely there. Other days it's a terrifying fog, and on those days, Ava seems a little more distant, a little less herself. I live in a state of perpetual vigilance, watching her, watching everyone. The stillness of our house has become oppressive, a constant reminder of the unseen forces at play. I see the blur on strangers now, too, on people in crowds, on the nightly news. And sometimes, in the periphery of my own reflection, when the light hits just right, I swear I can see a faint, cold shimmer around my own edges. I don't know if it's over. I don't know if it's already started with me.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.